Good evening, everyone. The Sacramento City Council will please come to order. Would the clerk call the roll, please, to establish a quorum?
Councilmember Warren,
Here.
Vice Mayor Harris,
Here.
Councilmember Hanson,
I'm here, and so is Henry.
Councilmember Chenier,
Here.
Councilmember Guetta,
Here.
Councilmember Jennings,
Here.
Councilmember Carr,
Here. Hi, Henry.
and Mayor Steinberg.
I am here. We have a quorum, and I know Mayor Pro Tem Councilmember Ashby is absent tonight for personal reasons. Let's all rise. I'm going to ask the clerk to please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Madam Clerk.
Thank you. I pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, and liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much. I made a brief announcement at the afternoon meeting of the Public Housing Authority regarding item 16 on tonight's agenda. And I know there may be people who, from the public, for example, who are calling in expecting that to be heard tonight. Because Councilmember Ashby cannot be here tonight for personal reasons, she has asked, and we all agree, of course, to continue the item. And I would like a motion to continue the item to December the 1st, which is 2 weeks from now.
So
I'll second.
Mayor, I'll make the motion.
Okay, thank you, Steve.
And I'll second it.
Okay, thank you, Alan. Are there people, Madam Clerk, on this item that have signed up to speak, even not knowing about the continuance?
We have 11 calls for that item, but we can go online and let them know when it will be continued to.
Why don't we do that? And of course, they have the right, if they want, to speak on the item, because even though it's continued, it is subject to public comment and action. But well, why don't you do that? We'll do the consent calendar first. We will come back to this before we take a vote, okay, on the continuance on item 16.
Also, item 19, Mr. Mayor, I wanted to continue to December 1st. I think, Mindy, do I need to say something different?
You would need to make a motion, and then we'll take a roll call on that one also.
Okay, I'd like to move then that item 19 is continued to December 1st.
I'll second
There's a
that
second
motion.
on that
Mayor.
as well. So why don't we, and we can do this anyway, it doesn't really matter, but 16 and 19, let's hold off on the vote, because I want to give the clerk the ability to communicate with the people who are online to testify on either item. Let's do the consent calendar.
I'll make a motion for the consent
Mr.
calendar.
Mayor?
Yeah?
Balance 19.
Hold on, Vice Mayor's got a comment.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to pull number 6 for a comment and a separate vote.
Okay, so on the consent calendar, 6 and
19.
I'm okay. That's number 6. Are there any other items on the consent calendar that members would like to pull and/or take separately?
I'll move the balance of the consent calendar, Mayor.
Okay, so the balance of the
Second.
consent calendar, then 6 is moved. Is there a second?
Second,
Thank you. Is there public testimony on the balance of the consent calendar?
There's no public testimony on any items on consent.
Okay, so then let's call the roll on the consent calendar other than item 6. Go ahead.
Councilmember Warren? Councilmember
Yeah.
Warren?
You're on mute, Alan.
I'm sorry. Yes, thank you.
Vice Mayor Harris?
aye.
Councilmember Hanson?
Aye.
Councilmember Chenier?
Aye.
Councilmember Guetta?
Aye.
Councilmember Jennings?
Aye.
Councilmember Carr?
Aye.
And Mayor Steinberg.
Aye. All right, that passes. Let's go to item 6. Vice Mayor Harris?
Thank you, Mayor. This has to do with the Green Means Go maps. a SACOG initiative to promote transit-oriented development. I noticed in their maps that they neglected to include the SMUD site at 59th and Highway 50, which is perhaps the most promising TOD in the city. And I've conferred with staff. They have agreed to include it in the map. So I just simply wanted to make the council aware that I've asked for this and staff has concurred. And so I would like to move the item with the inclusion of the green zone extending up to 59th Street to the old SMUD headquarters site.
A second.
Yes, it's seconded, but Councilmember Guerra has a comment on this item. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I was going to concur that that area on 59th and Folsom is a critical one for both our districts. And thank you, Councilmember Harris, for clarifying that on the maps.
So I'm good with it. The only comment I want to make is that I think next year, all of us as a city need to spend some time over at the state capitol to really help the very fine lobbyists and the very good SACOG team really push this thing over the finish line. This is a lot of money for the greater Sacramento region, including the city of Sacramento. And yet it needs some push. It shouldn't, but it does. And I want to, maybe focus the city council next year on what real added value we can bring to try to help make sure that this gets the rightful attention of the governor and that it actually gets signed in the law either through the budget or through a bill.
Happy to work with you, Mayor.
Okay, good. Thank you. Let's call the roll, please.
Councilmember Warren,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harris,
Aye.
Councilmember Hanson,
Aye.
Councilmember Hanson,
Aye.
Councilmember Chenier,
Aye.
Councilmember Guerra,
Aye.
Councilmember Jennings,
Aye.
Councilmember Carr,
Aye.
and Mayor Steinberg.
Aye. All right, thank you very, very much. Madam Clerk, have you or your staff had the opportunity to communicate with the members of the public who wanted to testify on item 16?
So we have 11 callers still. I do need to let them know that they can comment, but only on the continuance motion, not on the content of the item.
Okay, but what I'm trying to understand, if we don't want to waste their time, and 11 callers, we're always happy to hear from, but I'm sure they did not call to weigh in on the merits of a continuance. The council member for the district is unable to be here for personal reasons and compelling.
Correct, and we've let the
compelling
first caller
personal
know that,
reasons.
but we need to take them one at a time.
There's no way to communicate with them informally.
We have the first caller that we're communicating that with now. The other callers, once we take the first one, we'll go to the second caller and let them know that they can only comment on the continuance item, not on the content of the item.
And I'm sorry to belabor it. Does the first caller, knowing that it's just about the continuance, still want to testify?
Yes, they do.
Okay,
Mayor, they can hear the meeting as they wait on hold, so they've heard this conversation.
Yeah, this is a little bit frustrating. I'm going to be honest with you, because there should be a way. There should be a way to not have to waste the time of 11 people here if we can communicate with them informally that the matter is sought to be continued, since they can't watch the meeting as they're, or at least, holding on the phone. But
They should be watching the meeting online, so they should have heard the conversation.
okay, first caller.
Thank you. Send my first caller in, please. Welcome to the meeting. You have 2 minutes to address the council.
Hello.
You have 2 minutes to address the council. The action on the table is the motion to continue. Would you like to speak on that?
I'd like to speak on the matter, the substantive matter itself, if the continuance is not granted. Does that make sense?
Yeah, the continuance will be granted. And this is a little odd procedurally because people have the right to comment on the continuance. That's why I'm not calling for the vote. But the continuance will be granted. And so, caller, I think if you want to wait until the 1st of December, of course, your point of view will be fully heard, all right?
Okay, Mr. Mayor, I thank you again for this opportunity. Yes, I would like to reserve my comment for when the actual matter is on the table.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
Next caller, please. Welcome to the meeting. You have 2 minutes to address the council on the matter on the table, which is continuing the item to December 1st.
Sorry, what? I couldn't hear you.
If you would like to comment on continuing the item to December 1st, please make your comments now. Otherwise, this item will be continued to the 1st of December.
I'm in favor of continuing the item on December 1st, but can I make another comment then?
No.
Or do I make my comment
Only
now?
on the action on the table.
You will have the full,
So- Sorry, what?
you will have the full
Okay.
opportunity to testify on the merits of the item on the 1st of December.
Oh, okay, so I can comment again on the 1st of December.
Yes, of course.
Now I'm just commenting on the continuance. Yeah, I have no objection to the continuance of this item.
Thank you for your call.
Okay, thank you.
Next caller. Next caller, please. Do we have a next caller? Welcome to the meeting. You have 2 minutes to address the council in regards to the continuing this item to December 1st. Do you-
Okay, they're not hearing the item tonight?
That's correct.
Okay, I didn't realize that. Thank you
You'll have the
very
full opportunity, you'll have the full
Thank
much.
you.
Hello?
Next caller, please. Next caller, please. Welcome to the meeting. If you have comments in regards to the action on the table, which is continuing the item to December 1st, please make your comments.
I'll call in on December 1st.
Thank you. Next caller. Welcome to the meeting. If you have comments regarding continuing the item to December 1st, please make them.
I'm going against the rezoning proposal for North Nokomis.
The item on
On
the
the
table
court.
is continuing the item to December 1st. If you want to make a comment on continuing the item, that would be the appropriate action. Otherwise, you need to call back on December 1st.
Okay, I'll call back on the
Thank
1st.
you. Next caller, please. Next caller, please. Welcome to the meeting. If you have comments in regards to continuing the item to December 1st, please make them.
I'm just wondering why this item keeps getting continued so many times.
Well, let me answer your question, ma'am. The reason it's being continued tonight is because Councilmember Ashby has a compelling personal family issue. And it's her district. And so the members here are going to unanimously respect and support that. I'm confident. And so that's why it's completely to respect the council member if she's dealing with something personal.
Thank you. It's just a little disheartening because, You know, I've been trying to get my neighbors together on this issue.
I understand, and I'm sorry, I apologize for the delays and the frustration. We just ask you to bear with us. The intention is to have it heard on December the 1st.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next caller, please. Welcome to the meeting. If you're calling to make comments on continuing the item to December 1st, please make your comments. Otherwise, you'll need to call back on December 1st and make comments on the merits of the project.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Mayor, I have no more callers.
Okay, we got through that. And again, to all the people who called in anticipating the debate, we apologize for, and thank you for your patience. Again, the intent is to hear this, not delaying it for any other reason than what I described earlier, and for good reason. So we'll be back on the 1st. Okay, now let's take the motion to continue. Item 16, now that we've heard from the public, to December the 1st, please call the roll.
Councilmember Warren,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harris,
Aye.
Councilmember Hanson,
Aye.
Councilmember Chenier,
Aye.
Councilmember Guerra,
Aye.
Councilmember Jennings,
Aye.
Councilmember Carr,
Mute. Mary, you're mute.
Councilmember Carr,
Yes.
He's an
and
aye.
Mayor Steinberg.
Aye. Okay, now let's take the motion. There's no public testimony on Councilmember Warren's request to continue also to December 1st, if I heard that right, Councilmember Warren? Is that December 1st?
That's
Okay,
correct. Mr. Mayor.
December 1st, item 19, no public testimony, so let's call the roll on that motion.
Thank you. Councilmember Warren,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harris,
Aye.
Councilmember Hanson,
Aye.
Councilmember Chenier,
Aye.
Councilmember Guerra,
Aye.
Councilmember Jennings,
Aye.
Councilmember Carr,
Aye.
and Mayor Steinberg.
Aye. Okay, that item is continued to the 1st of December. Now we go back to the public hearings that will be heard tonight, unless there are further motions to continue. And let's begin with item 17.
I have 2 calls on item 17.
Okay, let's hear from the staff here first, please.
Yeah, sorry. Good afternoon, Mayor and council members. My name is Garrett Norman, Associate Planner with the Community Development Department. The ordinances before you are to establish 2 new special planning districts along Folsom Boulevard, named Folsom Boulevard West and East. The new special planning districts would prohibit 4 land uses. These uses are check cashing facilities, tobacco retailers, unless done in a larger store, somatic practitioners or massage parlors, and cannabis dispensaries, which includes delivery-only dispensaries. This request was initiated or requested by Councilmember Guerra in late of 2019, and staff brought forward the proposed special planning district to Long Ledge in January of this year. Long Ledge directed staff to proceed with the special planning district and its 4 prohibited land uses, and to expand the special planning district further west up to 63rd Street. Staff presented the special planning district to the Planning Design Commission on September 10th, and they passed a unanimous motion recommending approval. This item was then again presented to Long Ledge on October 13th, and they too passed a unanimous motion recommending approval. We have received public testimony on this project, which has been attached to the staff report, with newer ones included in your supplemental packet. Those comments are generally supportive of the proposed special planning districts and its effort to help revitalize this corridor. At both Long Ledge and Planning Commission, we have received public testimony to grant an exception for pending planning applications, and specifically cannabis. The city currently does have 1 pending application for a cannabis dispensary within the proposed eastern boundary of the special planning district. Staff is requesting the council pass a motion to approve the new special planning districts because they will help to revitalize the corridor by encouraging additional private investment and ultimately help support a family-friendly neighborhood. Thank you for your time, and the staff is available for questions.
Okay, Councilmember Guerra, do you want to lead off here?
Yeah, Madam Clerk, do we have any public comment?
I have 2 callers on this item.
Okay, let's take the callers first. Good, good.
Thank you. First caller, please. Welcome to the meeting. You have 2 minutes to address the council.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to address the board, the council. Annette Deglow, College Glen Neighborhood Association. Our area residents from College Greens and Glenbrook wholeheartedly support this ordinance to exclude land use for massage parlors, check cashing, tobacco shops, and cannabis. However, I'd like to also emphasize that we adamantly oppose any trailer ordinance that would permit special districts for exceptions to this primary ordinance with the sole purpose of circumventing that ordinance. We're concerned about that. Would hope that everyone will take note that the primary ordinance here is to prevent land use for these 4 purposes, and any exception to it would undermine the entire intent of and purpose. So, and that's really our main focus. We want to make sure that we adamantly, as I say, wholeheartedly support the ordinance, but that we are adamantly opposed to any effort to try and make exceptions for land use that one of these 4 land uses along that corridor. And I thank you for your time.
Thank you for your call. Next caller, please. Welcome to the meeting. You have 2 minutes to address the council.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of the City Council. My name is Steve Blanton. I'm the Executive Director of the Power and Alliance. We're primarily centered in the District 6, but also taken a portion of District 3. We are in support of the Folsom Boulevard Special Planning Districts, and we want to acknowledge the help and the work of Council Member Guerra and his fine staff, and also Planner Garrett Norman. We went to a lot of effort to get a better understanding of the issue, and with their assistance, we think we did, and that's why we're supportive of it, and feeling that there should not be exceptions to it, that we're establishing this district, and it should apply to everyone. So with that, thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, I'm happy to address them. Otherwise, we'll wish you a good evening.
Thank you for your comments. Next caller, please. Welcome to the meeting. You have 2 minutes to address the council.
Good evening. The flyer that came out regarding the 2 special districts on Folsom Boulevard between Howe Avenue and Watt very clearly outlined the types of businesses that will not be allowed in that area. What I didn't see in the flyer is what's the intention for improvement of that corridor as well, and has there been any conversation regarding the significant increase in homeless tents along that stretch of Folsom Boulevard?
Okay, thank you. Are there any other callers?
Your comments. I have no more callers.
Okay, thank you. Councilmember Guerra, your district, go right
Yeah,
ahead.
thank you very much. I also want to thank Councilmember Harris for working on this. We share Folsom Boulevard, a big chunk of it, and some of it has seen better days. And this tool is a very focused tool. I want to thank our staff for working on this. As you heard, there's been support from both the business community and the neighborhood community. I want to thank the College Greens and the Glenbrook community for their effort. And also our code enforcement and police department for really working on some of the establishments that were being used for sex trafficking and really making an effort here. I think our next step after this is working with the Economic Development Department to put some effort in revitalizing Folsom Boulevard. And with that, I'd like to open and close the public hearing and move the item.
Very good. Vice Mayor Harris has his hand up as well. Go ahead, sir.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, I want to thank Eric for bringing this forward. Frankly, I kind of rode on his coattails on this one. We do share a lot of responsibility on Folsom Boulevard. And as a lot of people know, I've worked hard to get uses that are supportive of Sac State University in this corridor, specifically housing. But these 4 prohibited uses are definitely deleterious to the university experience. So, you know, congratulations, Eric. I was really happy to be able to work with staff and fold in the piece west of Howe. This is important. I think it's really supportive of Sac State University, and it's a good way to go. I second your motion.
Stingers up.
Stingers up, buddy.
Stingers up. Let's call the roll.
Councilmember Warren.
I'm recusing myself from this action item.
Thank you. Vice Mayor Harris.
Aye.
Councilmember Hanson. Councilmember Hanson. I see an aye. Councilmember Chenier.
Aye.
Councilmember Guerra.
Aye.
Councilmember Jennings.
Fingers up, aye.
Councilmember Carr.
Aye.
And Mayor Steinberg.
Aye. Very good. That measure, but congratulations. That is good and important work. Item 18.
Hello, Mayor and council members. Garrett Norman again. Really don't have much to present on this, that we're just requesting that this council provide an extension to July 31st to allow us additional more time to finalize our ADU ordinance, to be in compliance with state requirements and to go through our typical public hearing process through commission and to council, and then at a long ledge and then back to this council.
Okay.
I'd like to open and close the public hearing and move the item.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there public testimony?
I have comments, Mayor.
I know, I see you.
There's no public testimony on this item.
Okay, Councilman Hanson.
Garrett, it was tough to see from the staff report, but if we extend this ordinance, doesn't it prevent those state laws from giving people who want to build ADUs the freedom of state law until we pass our own updated ordinance?
So we did pass an emergency ordinance back in December of last year, and that ordinance was in compliance with the new state requirements that they passed back late last year as well. So this extension will still grant those the same rights as to what state law allows now.
And what about the laws that take effect January 1st of 2021 that were passed in this session to further legalize, if you will, and streamline their permitting and construction?
Sure, we did take a look at that, and we did not notice anything that would affect Title 17 requirements, but that is something that we will obviously ensure with this new ordinance that we'll bring forward to you.
Okay, so it sounds like the interim ordinance that you're asking us to extend doesn't take away any ability under state law to take advantage of those new laws that streamline ADU construction.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, are there any other questions from the members? If not, the item's been moved and seconded. Let's call the roll, please.
Councilmember Warren.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harris.
Aye.
Councilmember Hanson.
Aye.
Councilmember Chenier.
Aye.
Councilmember Guerra.
Aye.
Councilmember Jennings.
Aye.
Councilmember Carr.
Yes.
And Mayor Steinberg.
Aye. That passes unanimously. We now move to item 20, as item 19 has been continued to the 1st of December. Let's take up item 20.
Good evening, Mayor Steinberg and council members. Eric Frederick with the Finance Department. Staff doesn't have anything really to present or to read into the record for this item, but we do recommend opening the public hearing and upon conclusion, adopting the resolution in your packet. If there are any questions, we're available to answer them.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Mr. Frederick. Is there any public testimony on this item?
There are no callers on this item.
Okay, then let's take a motion in a second on this, please.
I'll open and close the public hearing, move the item.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Let's call the roll, please.
Councilmember Warren,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harris,
Aye.
Councilmember Hanson. Councilmember Hanson. Thank you. Councilmember Schneer,
Aye.
Councilmember Guerra,
Aye.
Councilmember Jennings,
Aye.
Councilmember Carr,
Aye.
and Mayor Steinberg.
Aye. Okay, last item is item 21.
Good evening, Mayor, Madam City Clerk, and members of the City Council. My name is Jair Bautista with the Engineering Services Division in the Department of Public Works. Before you this afternoon is an item with staff recommending adopting a resolution to vacate a 7.5-foot portion of Dos Rios Street adjacent to the lot at 200 North 12th Street. The vacation was requested by the owner at said parcel, and this vacation area is unnecessary for present or prospective use, and the vacation will not impact vehicular circulation, sightlines, and will not be needed for future road purposes. Public Works staff, along with other utility agencies, support this vacation request, and furthermore, this project is consistent with the Sacramento 2035 General Plan and in compliance with the California Streets and Highways Code. That concludes this proposal, and staff will be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Okay, I assume no public testimony on this item, correct, Madam Clerk?
Mayor, I have one caller on this item.
Oh, we do. Never mind. Go ahead.
Thank you. May I have the caller, please? Welcome to the meeting. You have 2 minutes to address the council. Welcome to the meeting. You have 2 minutes to address the council.
If I may, I think this might be the owner of the parcel, and we invited him just to stand, just to see if there was anything for him to add. I don't know if he's heard the conversation that we've had, but if there's nothing you would like to add, John, you don't have to, but this is up to you.
Caller, do you have any comments? We have no questions for you.
No comment.
Thank you for your call. No more callers, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
Mayor, I would like to open and close the public hearing. This is really just to facilitate the North 12th Street Complete Streets program. It's a small vacation. The owner is in approval of this, and so I think it should move forward.
Oh, second.
Okay, moved and seconded. Let us call the roll.
Councilmember Warren,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Harris,
Aye.
Councilmember Hanson,
Yes.
Councilmember Schneer,
Yes.
Councilmember Guerra,
Aye.
Councilmember Jennings,
Aye.
Councilmember Carr,
Yes.
and Mayor Steinberg.
Aye. All right, members, that is the formal agenda here today. Again, briefer because of the continuance of the gateway item, but we do have time and opportunity for council comments, any comments from the city manager, and of course, public comments. Why don't we begin with the public? Are there items that, are there any callers who want to talk about items not on the agenda?
I have 2 callers. May I
Okay.
have my first caller, please? Welcome to the meeting. You have 2 minutes to address the council. Welcome to the meeting. You have 2 minutes to address the council.
Thank you.
Please
Hello,
be.
Mayor and council members. This is just a brief comment to express our thanks on behalf of the Natomas community for continuance of this item. We look forward to December 1st. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Next caller, please. Next caller, please. Next caller, please. Welcome to the meeting. You have 2 minutes to address the council. Caller, are you there?
Great. Hello, and thank you. My name's John Healy. I'm the CEO of California Emergency Food Link. Food Link is basically the largest food distribution agency in the country. And we've developed on the Sacramento Army Depot, and we've grown out of being a Sacramento nonprofit for 30 years. We provide food in Sacramento, Sacramento County, and throughout all of California, particularly in the northern and central part of the state where food banks aren't large enough to handle all the food.
Go ahead.
We continue to feed about 1.2 million people a month, about 400,000 families, and the work that we do is free of charge to all the food banks. I'm here because our ability to continue to work at the Army Depot and the staff that we have there is at risk. This summer, the Department of Social Services confirmed that it would extend our contract for 2 years, and they abruptly canceled it in September, which was news to us, and certainly we've never had any complaints, so we don't know what the issues were. On January 1st, the new organization will run the TFAP program, and that organization was established in June. We are aware that they don't yet have a warehouse, they don't have any trucks, and it's over in Yolo County in Woodland. In contrast, Sacramento already has a warehouse, and we have trucks, we have employees, we have extensive experience in the TFAP program. What we need is help. This was done by a low-level.
Thank you for your comments. Your time is complete. Will you make your final comment, please?
Mr. Healy, John,
yes.
Would you call me tomorrow, please, in my office, and I will look into this. We go way back, and I remember when you started back at the Army Depot in the 90s. Please call me, and I'll get my team on this, okay?
Good, thank you. Because what we want is for the
well,
department.
Let's talk about it tomorrow. Thanks.
Good, thank you.
Bye-bye.
I have no more callers.
Okay. Are there council ideas or questions? I see a couple. Councilman Hanson, go ahead.
Thanks, Mayor. I just have a couple quick things. One, Mr. City Manager, at the 2 o'clock meeting, I made a council comment. I think that staff probably passed it on to you, but I wanted to make sure that I'm here as well, just to reiterate. I would also like to wish you, Howard, a happy birthday. I believe it's tomorrow. Is that right?
That's right, it's tomorrow.
Okay, good. I won't turn us into a chorus here tonight by having us sing a Zoom happy birthday, but just want to thank you for all of your dedication to the city and wish you a very happy birthday tomorrow. And then just because we won't see each other again next week, I want to wish the council a happy Thanksgiving and hope that everybody has a nice time during the socially distanced way of a Thanksgiving. And then lastly, I want to extend my condolences to Ray Trethaway on the passing of his mother this week. And she was in her 90s and certainly lived a good life and left a great legacy through Ray and her family. But I wanted to share those comments. So thanks, everyone.
Okay, thank you very much, Councilmember Hanson. Let's see, Vice Mayor Harris, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of quick comments. First, Howard, you rock. Happy birthday, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Natomas Community Association General Monthly Meeting is Wednesday, November 18th at 6:30 via Zoom. You can go to natomascommunity.org for the Zoom address. RPNA, similarly, is having a meeting this Thursday. You can go to riverparksacramento.org for the agenda and Zoom details. Stanford Settlement Neighborhood Center is taking reservations for the annual holiday basket program. Please call 916-927-1303 and leave a message there. You know, I'm happy to partner with Joey's Food Locker and actually Stanford Settlement. We're providing an awful lot of turkeys to both organizations for Thanksgiving for people in need. And Joey's Food Locker is also accepting donations for non-perishable canned good items for traditional sides to complement their annual turkey giveaway. Tomorrow, Wednesday, November 18th, from 2 to 5 p.m., they're accepting those donations. The Food Locker is at Natomas High School, 3301 Fong Ranch Road. For more information, please call area code 530-312-9799, and please consider donating to those in need. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much. Who else? Councilman Guerra, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have a couple things and then 2 adjourned memories if we're ready for those as well.
Go ahead.
Okay, first one, I wanted to thank all the effort of both the city, county, and state for the Healthy Harvest program. Or just a reminder for folks that we do have anybody who's in the food or agricultural industry an ability to pay for motels, hotels, food, and also financial assistance if you have COVID. This is particularly for farm workers, for people in the food processing. That resource is available now to help people quarantine and self-quarantine. So if you're infected or have been exposed to a family member infected or by COVID-19, reach out to the Healthy Harvest program. The second issue, happy birthday, Howard. I want to wish you early happy birthday. And also I want to wish Wayne Tebow, another Sac State alum, happy 100th birthday. I saw him and our mayor was playing tennis earlier this week. So, you know, good to how'd you do?
We didn't actually play against each other, but if we had, he would have won.
Well, good to see you. Well, thanks, Wayne Tebow, for your work at Sac State and consistently. Although he has taught at UC Davis for 40 years, so he shares the causeway. And I also wanted to close if we're ready. Whenever we're ready to adjourn in memory, I'll close an adjourn in memory, Mr. Mayor. I see Councilmember Jennings has some announcements.
Okay, we'll come back to you then with an adjourn in memory, Councilmember Guerra. Councilmember Jennings.
Okay, just very quickly, again, happy birthday to Howard. Let him know how much we think about him and care about him. So appreciate that and hope you enjoy this wonderful day that was given just for you. Also, happy Thanksgiving to all those in our public eye, and hopefully this is a time to get together with family and enjoy a great meal and great time together. Also want to give a special shout out and prayer to our colleague, Angelique Ashby, and let her know that we are all very supportive of her and her family, and that we know everything will work out well. And then I want everyone to know that they need to get their best district pickleball team together, because I'd like to introduce the City of Sacramento City Pickleball Championship. And so that will be coming towards the end of the year and the first part of 2021. We are now in the process of finding out who our championship team will be in District 7. And after we do District 7, we want the rest of the city to compete against each other in a COVID-friendly way, making sure that we're responsible. But we want to end up with a city champion in the first pickleball championship in the history of the city of Sacramento. So I'm putting all districts on warning to let you know this is coming. So get your teams together now. Thank you, Mayor.
I sign up. Okay, I'm in that one. Before I turn it over to Eric again, I just want to wish Howard a happy birthday, of course, and wish everyone a happy Thanksgiving. And, you know, not to be a downer or to sort of state the obvious, but what our community and our state and our country are going through with this rapid increase in people getting the coronavirus, of course, is incredibly worrisome. And Thanksgiving is a real point of concern and worry for public health officials everywhere, but it must be a concern to all of us as well. And I would just ask the people of Sacramento to celebrate Thanksgiving and show gratitude in a unique, and I know sort of an awkward way this year. And that is, please do not gather with, even with larger numbers of family members who do not live in your household. It's the hardest thing to not be together with those that you love on Thanksgiving. And yet we all owe it to each other to do it differently this year. Because if we do it right this year, we may then have the opportunity to celebrate Thanksgivings with our loved ones and with our community in the way we're used to beginning in 2021. And if we don't, well, then who knows what the next year brings. You know, today the county had a lengthy hearing on the question of enforcement. And this is a real tough one because recognize that we don't have enough resources, neither does the county, to create some sort of a across the board enforcement regimen. And certainly when it comes to our business community, our small businesses, I don't want to do anything in our city that makes their already difficult plight even more difficult. But like you, I see and hear, mostly hear, that people are still engaging in large gatherings out in some of our parks, that people aren't wearing masks where they should, and we don't want to be scolds, but I want to continue to look at what our authority is as a city, not with the police, but with code enforcement. I know there's still some open legal questions about what is possible or not, but I will tell you that at least when it comes to outside public gatherings with lots of people behaving in ways that they may think are fine but are irresponsible, I would like to see some high profile enforcement to make an example out of some people, to send the message to all of us that you can't do that. You just can't do it because this thing is spreading. And it is spreading from a variety, you know, if you look at the data, it's spreading from a variety of different sources. There's no one thing. We talk a lot about gatherings in homes, and I understand that that piece is very difficult to enforce. And so we have to use our moral persuasion, our bully pulpits, and all of it, not just to wish people a happy Thanksgiving, but to also say, plead, cajole, insist that you can't have a Thanksgiving the way you traditionally have. And then when it comes not to the, I don't want to make the plight of the business community any harder. So I'm not talking about the businesses, and they have to shut down anyways. There's no indoor dining. But man, out in our parks, and if we see people flagrantly violating the public health order, I would like to see some high profile enforcement so that the word gets out. That's all. The word gets out to everybody that that's enough motive. Sorry. So that the word gets out, and maybe fewer and maybe more people will do what most of us are doing, most of you are doing, and that is to comply and to begin bringing down these rates that are just, I mean, you know, in our county, I mean, the threshold's 7 out of 100,000. This week it was 21 cases per 100,000. People are getting sick and dying, and the longer this goes and the worse it gets, the more suffering our small businesses and others are going to have to deal with, more suffering that working people are going to have to deal with. And we're all frustrated, and we have limited tools and limited ability, but to the degree that we can help bend this curve in any way, not to punish, but just to deter, I would like us to continue that conversation. And I know Howard and I have talked about it. I look forward to talking with you, my colleagues, more about this as well. Thank you. Councilman Guerra.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And I think your comments, unfortunately lead us to an adjourned in memory here to remind us how valuable life is and also how important it is to recognize and remember those we've lost. So I join you in this effort to, we all take precautions during this Thanksgiving. And early this November, we lost two great Sacramentans, two great Americans in our neighborhood. And those who don't seek the limelight and do nothing but provide for their community and not just their family. I want to start off by adjourning in memory, requesting that the council adjourn in memory to Rafael Armenta, who died on November 1st, All Saints Day, Dia de Todos los Santos. And Rafael Armenta was born in Zacatecas, Mexico, and immigrated to California in the 80s. He started working at one of the well-known restaurants we all know, El Pollo Loco, as a dishwasher, as a cook, as a cashier. Worked his way up to be a manager. And for us in Sacramento, he owned El Pollo Loco on Stockton Boulevard in District 6. He met his wife while working his way up the ranks as a dishwasher, Berta Acosta, and became a strong supporter of the community. He was involved in not only the Hispanic Chamber, but Cien Amigos, trying to create a binational relationship between California and Mexico, and specifically Sacramento. He led a delegation with many Sacramentans and doctors and business leaders and community leaders to Zacatecas to see how our cities could work together. Unfortunately, we lost him here again at the beginning of this month. His family, he leaves behind his family, his kids, and an army of community supporters who all say he never looked for the limelight. He was honored to have an opportunity here in the United States and California, in our city, to be able to start from a dishwasher and become an entrepreneur and the owner of his own business and ability to employ many people. So I ask that the council adjourn in memory of Rafael Armenta here in Sacramento. We also lost, not a few days later, another great Sacramentan, Gloria Zelke. And Gloria Zelke, born in 1930, lived 90 years here. And in that time, she was well known for her commitment to the Sacramento community. Lived in College Greens and was very active in College Greens, both civically and politically. And during her 58 years of life, Gloria dedicated herself to not only her community, her church. The bishop recognized her in 1982 for her 20 years of service to the St. Mary's Elementary School in East Sacramento. She was a volunteer to Christian Brothers and celebrated the centennial in 1976 with her husband there. She served as co-president of the Franciscan Guild at St. Francis High School in the 1980s. And she helped establish the College Green swim team in 1965, putting them as the first championship swim team in 1966 as part of the Suburban Swim League. She continued all of these efforts and helped tens of thousands of kids over those past 53 years. Gloria loved and got her energy from youth. She made a point of attending and providing and supporting kids with all kinds of activities, music, dance, theater. She loved these portions of being involved in the community because she thought that the future of our kids was the future of our city. She got her degree, AA degree here at Sac City College. And after 20 years of service, she continued to be active in politics up until her last day, casting a ballot on the November 3rd election. She was a champion for women's rights, telling her daughters and granddaughters to aim high. She was a staunch defender of equality in every sense of the word and lived the belief of everyone should be treated equal with respect. This belief led her to have a diverse circle of friends, along with multiracial and a multicultural family. Gloria never sought the limelight, preferred to support others versus being the one in front. And the week before her death, she was excited to learn that Vice President-elect Harris, a woman of South Asian descent, African American, would become the next Vice President for the United States, a very proud moment in her history. Gloria leaves behind 3 children, 8 grandchildren, and thousands of people who she touched because she was committed to community, to youth, and our city. Mr. Mayor, I ask that we adjourn in memory of Gloria Zelke and Rafael Armenta at this council meeting.
Thank you, Councilmember Guerra. What beautiful tributes and incredible lives well lived. So many people in our community to be proud of and to be thankful for. Thank you. We'll adjourn in their memory. If there's nothing else to come before our city council this evening, peace and safety and good health to everybody, okay? We are adjourned. Thank you.